So the very first thing that you want to do is take your template, and as I said, this template will be on my blog and that link will be directly below. So we will have all of the written measurements, templates, and photos over there. But you just take your template and you're going to put it on that 3x6 piece of that light chipboard that you have, and you're just going to trace that out and then cut it out. So that's what you want to do first. Then you have all of your chipboard pieces ready to go. Alright, take your two pieces that are 6 inches by 12 inches. And you're going to need your scoreboard. Okay, on this first piece, you're going to score at 7. And then at 11. Okay, 7 and 11. Okay, then on your second piece, you're going to score at 2 3/4. Right there. At 4 3/4. And then at 11 1/4. Okay. Let's go ahead and fold and burnish your score lines. Okay, we're going to put adhesive right here. This is that one that we scored that has that 1 inch mark on it. We're going to put adhesive right there. We're going to join these two pieces together. Then all you want to do is lay this one with this little small tab right here down on top of this one, right at that score line. Make it even on both sides. And I always stretch it out and just kind of look at it and make sure it's even all the way down with my other sheet. And then we're just going to lay that over. Now, looks like I got a little bit hasty right there, and I've got a little bit of a crooked line, so I'm just going to trim that. I think I just let my paper slip a little bit. So there we go, we've got that now. So then you have a score line here, one right here, one here. That's going to be exactly how your chipboard pieces are going to lay in there. So let's go ahead and look at those. That one's going to lay there. This one here. This one here. This one right there. And then this one is going to be up here at the top. And then we're going to trim that off. So what I'm going to do first is lay this one at what I'm calling the top. This is that front flap. This one, this piece right here, just so you'll know which one I'm trimming. This piece is the one that is, this is 2 3/4 by 6. So we are going to lay that right there. And I'm laying this right up to the score line. And then I'm just going to draw a line there so that I'll know where to trim. There we go. And then we'll just go ahead and trim this out. Okay, so we have that front flap trimmed out, and now we can start putting down our chipboard. Now, when you lay your chipboard up here, if it looks like that it's going to be a little bit too wide, then go ahead and trim it off. Because sometimes if you're like me, you get a little bit hasty and you might cut it a little bit big. Just trim it off, make sure it's not too big, it's not wider than your white piece. I'm just going to lay that down, not over the score line, but right up against it. Just like that. Then you're going to get your 4-inch piece, and that's this one. It's going to go right there. I always dry fit it first and just make sure that I'm not going over my score lines, leaving that gap there. And then I know that if it fits, I can put it down, and if not, I need to trim it. Okay, then you're going to put your next piece down, large piece. Okay. Now, right here, I'm going to show you something. This was my goof up, but I'm going to leave you the correct measurements. I accidentally scored wrong on one of them, and it left me a little gap right here. I'm not going to tear it apart and redo because this is going to be the bottom, and it's going to work out fine. But when you score, you will have the correct measurements. I just scored a little off. That happens sometimes. I got distracted by someone coming in and then a couple of phone calls, and when I get distracted, sometimes I lose it. Then you're going to put your 2-inch piece down right there. See, each time we leave that little gap, and then we're going to put this piece down up here at the top. Just like that. So that is what you should have. Other than this, you should have just a smaller gap right here, not as big as I do. So like I said, your scoring, your measurements and everything over on my blog will be correct, but that's what it should look like. Then this is the way it's going to come together. That's going to be the back. This is the front, and then there's your little flap that comes over. Our pages and everything are going to sit inside here. So that is the way it's going to come together right there. Our handles will be up here. Alright, I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix this. I didn't want that there. I wanted mine to be exactly like yours, so this is what I did. I cut that apart. I trimmed down everything except just a little sliver right here. And let me see, I may need to trim just a tiny bit more. I'm just leaving that little gap. Then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. There is always a way to fix something, usually. Now, sometimes I can mess it up so bad that I can't fix it, but not real often. Now, I'm taking another scrap of paper. This is just a scrap that I had left over. And I'm going to try my best to peel this off so that it won't be too thick. That was that other layer that we put there. And then we're going to put this up together. And we're going to lay that right over there. Remember, all of this is going to be covered, so you're not going to see this. I'm just going to make sure that I don't have it too long. So I'm going to lay that right across there and glue that together. Then I'll turn it over and I'll do my score line. So let's go ahead. I'm going to use art glitter glue because I can always maneuver it a little bit if I need to. So yes, I mess up too sometimes. Lots of times I do, and I just fix it. Sometimes I fix it off camera and you never know the difference, but this time I thought I'll fix it on the camera with them, and then they will know exactly how to fix it when it comes to theirs if they make a mistake. Alright, all I'm doing is lining it up on my grid to make sure I've got it straight. See, now I've got that tiny little gap there. I'm going to make sure that I press this down really well so it has no chance of coming undone. Can't even hardly tell that, can you? Then I'm just going to take my scoring tool and I'm going to go down through there a few times. And then that is going to fold up just like that one does. Then it's going to be identical. So see, that was easy. This is going to be covered, so don't worry about that. Okay, now this is probably going to be opened and closed quite a bit. So I want to make sure that these seams don't crack or split or divide. So I'm taking just some Tyvek pieces, and I always keep these on hand. And if you don't know what Tyvek is, you know those envelopes that you get in the mail that you can't tear? That's Tyvek. I usually, when I get one, I save it and I just cut it up into pieces. And then we're going to put, let's see, I want some longer ones. No, I've got some longer ones in here. Then I'm going to take these Tyvek pieces and I'm just going to put a layer of those right across here on each one of those little openings. That's going to make this nice and strong where it doesn't crack, where it doesn't split, and where it will stay no matter how many times it's opened and closed. Now don't go all the way to the end with it because you don't want this showing. So I usually stop a little bit shy. It doesn't have to be straight, it doesn't have to be even, as long as it's on here. So we're going to put that one there. I'm just going to cut the others by that. And if you don't ever get any of these envelopes, you can get this off of Amazon. You can buy big sheets of it and then just trim it down like you need. I use this on most all of my mini albums that I don't use a really, really heavy cardstock with. So there is 3. I need one more. There we go. Okay. All right. So now you can just put this down with your regular adhesive, or you can put it down with score tape. I'm going to put mine down with score tape because I know that score tape is going to hold and I'm not going to have to worry about it coming loose. And it's not going to dry out. Sometimes your liquid glue over the years will dry out and then you have just a little bit of a problem with your albums cracking. But I know this is not going to dry out. It's going to last forever. I've got many albums that are made with this score tape that I've had for probably 20 years and they still look just as good as they ever did. And make sure if you have an end that has the tape on it like that, just go ahead and peel that off. You don't want that weakening the spine, since this is going to have quite a few spines in it. And I have a lot of questions asking me how I keep my mini albums, how I keep them, the paper from cracking, and this is the way. And you see, that is so thin that once you get all of your covers and everything on there, you're never going to know that that's there. And you can put this on both sides if you want. I'm not going to put it on the outside because I think the inside's going to be plenty, but you can put it on both sides as long as you know you're going to cover that other side with paper. And I will link the Tyvek below if you don't get envelopes like this, so that you can go over and get some. It is not really expensive at all, and usually just one good size sheet's going to do you for a long time, because you can see you need very little. These are really, you know, I could have made these narrower, but I already had them cut, so I wasn't going to cut them down again. Alright, and then I just take my score tool again, and I just go down through there, score that line again. Doesn't take much. And then that one. And there we go. Now we've got a nice, strong mini album. That is going to be nice and strong once we get all of these other layers on there. Now, once again, we're going to do something very unusual. We're going to go ahead and put our outside covers on before we put the inside. Now, since this is going to be your front piece, you want to make sure that you put it on like this with your pattern running the right way. So we're going to glue this down right here like this. And I cut these at 6 by 7, the same size as the back paper. And all of this will come together in a minute, and you'll know why I'm cutting it like this. I know this seems very strange. And I'm hoping this is going to work out like I have it in my head, because I have not made one like this before. This will be the first. Okay, so there's that one. This is going to be the bottom right here. So we need a piece that is 4 by 6. 4 by 6. That one's a little bit wide. Let me cut that down a tiny bit. Okay, make sure that I don't go over my score line. So we're going to put that in there like that. It's really not going to matter which way we go with it, since it's going to be the bottom. But I think I'm going to run it the same way as this. Now, if you wanted to match all of your pattern up as you cut, you can do that. I'm not going to worry about it, because all of this is not going to be seen. The bottom's not going to be seen the same time the front is, and that kind of thing. So, and then this is the back. So the back is going to need to go up like this. And let's make sure that I didn't, looks like I might have cut that one a tiny bit wide too. Okay, so that one's going to go down just like that. We'll go ahead and use our art glitter glue and put that down. Okay, making sure that it doesn't go over the edges. Then we need a 2-inch piece, and I want to look at this before I put it down. This is going to be the top, so I definitely want to make sure that it runs the way that we can see it best. That's going to work right there. So we're going to put the top like that. Now for this piece right here, I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to use the opposite side of that to go right here. This is the reason why when you look at the front, you'll have that separation from the tab that opens it up to the bottom down here. So we're going to put that down just like that. But I'm going to go ahead and trim it out first. And I'm just going to lay this on here and clip it so that when I start drawing it out, it's not going to be slipping, hopefully. There we go. And then we can just go ahead and trim this out. And that's going to go down right there. So there you go. We've got that much finished. I think this is going to be so cute. Okay, now for the inside. And you're going to think I'm totally crazy. So you're going to take these two pieces that are 7 inches by 12 inches. And you're going to glue them together. Just like that. So now you have a long piece. Now I want you to put these pieces in your scoreboard, and I know they're not going to fit, but you're going to have to put them in there and score it down as far as you can and then turn it around. You're going to score at 1/2 inch on both sides. Make sure that it's tight up against the edge. And 1/2 inch. Okay, and then just turn it around and do the same thing. There we go. And then just on one of the ends, doesn't matter which one, on one of the ends, you're going to score it at 1/2 inch as well. Okay, just like that. Now just go ahead and give it a little bit of a burnish, a little bit of a fold up with your fingers. Like I said, I'm using a thinner cardstock, so I'm not going to give it a lot of creasing, not right now. Okay, now this is going to sit right down in here, just like this. And get it maneuvered. Flip it over. It's going to sit in here just like this. And this end, the squared off end, it's going to come right up to that score line right there. And then as you can see, these score lines are going to come right up to the side all the way down. And when we get down here, of course, we'll trim it again, but don't worry about that right this second. Just make sure that it kind of fits. Now, do you get a sense of what we're doing? This is going to fold over like this and glue down, and that's going to give the front of our mini album that nice little white border all the way around. Isn't that going to be cute? Alright, this has been kind of a longer video, I think. Oh yeah, it's already been pretty long. So I'm going to stop it right here, and then we're going to finish this up on Friday. So watch for this on Friday. We'll finish this up. So go ahead and get all of this covered. And you can go ahead and put this down if you want. I'm just going to use score tape and put it down all the way around. I'll trim my corners like I normally do, and then I'll trim this up here off too. If you want to wait until I do mine, that's fine, but just get all of this done up to this point, and then Friday we're going to finish it up, put the pages in there, put the handles on, the buckles and all that kind of thing, and this is going to be a gorgeous little mini album. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you Friday to finish this up, and we will talk to you guys later. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like these type videos. Hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to click that little bell when that bell pops up so that you'll be notified when we put up new videos. Up here at the top are 2 more videos that I would like for you to watch if you would. Down here in the bottom is our store, and then over here on this side is my face. If you click on that, you can go right over to subscribe. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching our videos. We really appreciate it. Bye-bye.